I've read a lot of your writings down the years, even before I'd met you, and and you're like that kind of person with the academic uh, heft, the intellectual, you know, single-mindedness to go at something. And you have written, I've read Worshipping False Gods, and at that time, at a young age, I'm still, making up your mind about certain things. You feel you too have changed your view on things the way, as you've written about conversions. I've read a few of those books as well. Now, anyone would like to have you in his army because you can be unleashed as a weapon with the intellectual might which very few can take on. And how you use that is up to you. Do you sometimes revisit your writing specifically about Ambedkar, or do you think like I can really enjoy this book because my personal bias is against Savarkar's ideology, but I can't enjoy Worshipping False Gods as much because my personal bias is I'm a huge sympathizer and admirer of Dr. Ambedkar. Do you, when you get into something, sometimes, correct me if I'm wrong, is there that this is what I have decided, and like a Ram Jethmalani caliber lawyer, you can prove anything just because of how smart you are? Or do you revisit what you said
No,
earlier?
I don't revisit. And firstly, I am only focused on the topic at hand and only of the facts and where the facts lead me. For instance, I admire many things about Dr. Ambedkar. He's a person who, unlike his followers today, unlike people chanting his name, unlike politicians invoking him, he believed in reading and writing. Savarkar also, in many ways, it's a volume of work. In Maharashtra, he is an icon uh, as a literary figure. So, and once I'll tell you something. A friend of mine, when he read this book on Ambedkar, he said, "Why are you against him?" Arre, bhaiya, we are like him. We read and write. That's a wonderful thing. So, only on that subject at that time, what seems right to me, and yes, others will write something else because it strikes them, but I will just stick to the facts as I see them. For instance, even in Dr. Ambedkar, in the book about Ambedkar, is the fact that I have quoted wrong? That's the
But
point.
context matters, right? I mean, I can understand, for example, Dr. Ambedkar, if I were Dalit in pre-independent India, my lot will not change whether it's the British will treat me like shit and I'll treat the Brahmin like shit. The only difference is once they go, the Brahmin will occupy their position. So purely for my community, which is a significant community in India, if the context is taken, I think that's a very defendable and justifiable position to have, right?
If in protecting the interests of a section, I say, no, the British rule should continue. And I say this in 1946.
Mm-hmm.
And I write to the British, I speak that they owe us to continue. Precisely because, as you said, that the Brahmins will come and crush us. Well, I would think that's going too far for a very important section's interest. Second is that then this is for instance, everybody today is correctly remembering the warnings that Dr. Ambedkar gave about the Constitution, that it is just a document. You have to
Right.
live.
Yes.
That's the central point, no doubt. But he did underestimate the power of democracy, the power of numbers, of votes. Everybody today is catering to the very castes which he would have wanted catered to. Why?
Right.
Because of numbers, not because the higher caste or somebody has suddenly become compassionate, but of
But
numbers.
it's the
But
inevitability of democracy. It takes a while getting there, but one does get there. Is
yes,
what
get there. And people keep saying he's the author of this constitution, which he denied, but he actually had a constitution, which there's a draft of. I mean, he gave it in a lecture to the trade union which he had founded, and he submitted that draft to the Fundamental Rights Committee of the Constituent Assembly. And that, for instance, advocated village republics for scheduled castes.
Hmm.
Pockmarked India everywhere. Just imagine, it was Not it was probably that his personal experience had led him to such a strong opinion that we are never going to get justice in the rest of India with the rest of the people,
So
so
we
we
have
should
to have our own. Sure.
republics. But in retrospect, that's not a good thing, and he would not have probably today he would have given a different idea.
Right.
Probably context is to be seen, yes, but as the facts, as far as my writing is concerned, just the facts.